I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeff.
Welcome to episode 67 of Fresh and Uncooked, the podcast where Jeff and I talk about fast food, new menu items and products, our favorite fast food memories, cooking at home, and what we love to eat. This episode is all about what, Jeff?
It's all about honey.
But first, some food news to get to, including something Arby's is doing that Jeff and I have been asking for a long time.
Really? Oh, I'm excited to hear about this.
A familiar cracker gets a flavor I gotta try.
Okay.
And it just so happens we're talking about honey this episode.
Yes.
There's some new honey hot sauces that are
Really?
coming out that I figured we gotta taste them because they sound pretty tasty. So sit back and, of course, grab a snack and enjoy episode 67 of the most appetizing food podcast ever.
Fresh and Uncooked.
Any news? Is there any news?
I have news.
Food news. Bad news travels fast.
Jeff and I have talked about this a few times on the podcast, and Arby's has finally done it. Sort of.
Okay.
5 for $5 has made its return to the menu, Jeff.
What?
Available online or on the app only. Rewards members can one time, by the way, order 5 regular roast beef sandwiches for only $5. This ends June 16th, this week, the week we're recording. So act quickly. Jeff, are you speechless or what?
I kind of am. That's a great deal. That is an amazing deal.
It is $24.95 when I put 5 regular roast beefs in my cart online just to see what the price was.
Okay. Wow. Saving yourself $20.
I say sort of what we've been asking for, Jeff, because I wish it was the beef and cheddars included too, like back in the day, you know, the mix and match for $5. But it's good to see this. It's a step forward.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. I don't know the last time I've had a classic roast beef from Arby's. Probably
I can't tell you
20
the last
years
time.
ago.
Right. I can't tell you the last time, but I can definitely tell you when the next time's going to be. And that's going to be this week.
This week, extra horsey sauce.
Oh,
It's gonna need it.
oh yeah.
There's a new limited edition flavor of the iconic fish-shaped cracker coming to retailers, Jeff.
The goldfish?
The Goldfish.
Oh, goldfish are great.
Goldfish are classic and great and now available in a spicy dill pickle. They say the new flavor is the perfect balance of tangy dill pickle with a spicy kick of red chili peppers.
Wow.
What
Let
do you
me
think?
tell you that food news, I don't know that a food news has ever started out this way where I've been this excited.
It is a pretty exciting food news this week, I gotta say.
Yeah.
These are going to be available this June for a suggested retail price of $3.69.
Wow.
So far, Jeff, you spend $5 on 5 roast beef sandwiches. This might have to be the side.
Yeah, $8.69 so far. We're under $10. Oh, goodness.
Wow. Yeah, no, that sounds like a good flavor of goldfish. So I was excited to see that. So have to keep my eyes out for that one for sure.
Yeah.
And finally, Jeff, like I said, we are talking honey this episode 67. An American honey maker, Local Hive, is launching a new lineup of honey hot sauces. And there are a few I'm pretty excited about. I want to try a few of these, Jeff. They're the only national brand of honey sourced exclusively from American beekeepers.
Okay.
And we got a few flavors. We got the original, which is considered medium. Okay. Red jalapeno peppers and honey. We got a hatch chili with Southwest honey. So honey sourced from the southwestern United States.
All right.
That's also a medium one and one that is going in my shopping cart. Smoky aged hatch chilies with Southwest honey to bring a balanced heat. Another medium sauce is the mango habanero, a sweet, slightly spicy and citrus tinge blend of mangoes, habanero, and honey. We have a cayenne with Southeast honey, which again is another medium one. Southern spices and subtle sweetness. There's also a chipotle with Texas honey.
All right.
A mellow barbecue-inspired blend of chipotle peppers and Texas honey. That one needs to end up in my shopping cart soon. And then there's two hot version. One is a sriracha, a spicy blend of red jalapeno and honey, and habanero hot. A kick of heat with a little sweet adds bold and spicy flavor. Local Hive.
All right. Now, sriracha, would you normally consider sriracha to be a hot flavor? Because to me, that's still kind of medium.
I've never been a sriracha fan,
Okay.
so I couldn't go too deep into it. But most of these were medium. The sriracha and the other habanero, the non-mango habanero, is the hot ones.
Mm-hmm.
What do they mean by hot? What do they mean by medium? I guess we'll have to try to find out exactly where their levels are.
Okay.
Because I don't like to go hot, but I definitely love medium.
Right.
Even mild, but medium's kind of my zone for hot sauce because I want flavor for my hot sauce. I don't want water. I don't want to be drinking 9 of these because I put a dash of hot sauce on something. You know what I mean?
Right. And that usually doesn't even help.
Right. Yeah. Sriracha is more of like a garlicky hot sauce too, right?
In a way, yeah. I have sriracha and I use it kind of on the regular, on the reg. But yeah, to me, I feel cayenne, and I guess it just depends. Maybe they did use Scoville units to determine which is mild or not mild. They have no milds, medium and hot. We'll have to see. But these are all very, very interesting.
They're now available at Whole Foods markets. So I'm hoping Amazon, right? Because Amazon, Whole Foods,
yes,
same thing.
So they seem like they might be expensive, Chris.
Well, the suggested retail price is $4.99 to $5.99 per 6-ounce glass bottle.
That's not bad.
So with real, and this is a honey company, Jeff. This isn't a hot sauce company. This is a honey company doing honey hot sauce. So you're getting the good honey in this bottle too. How good they are making hot sauce, I couldn't tell you, but I have purchased their honey several times.
That's great.
But yeah, Whole Foods, hopefully Amazon too, because Whole Foods just isn't around me, so it's not very convenient to go to a Whole Foods.
Okay.
But products contain less than 10 calories and 2 grams of sugar per serving, plus free of preservatives and artificial flavors. And like I said, $4.99 to $5.99 for a 6-ounce glass bottle.
Not bad at all.
I love it. All three hopefully will be in my tummy soon, Jeff.
This is the best food news ever. I just need to say you outdid yourself this time, Chris.
Well, I had a little help from good press releases. What can I say?
Nice.
That's your food news for episode 67. Okay, so before we get into honey, Jeff, we made a promise last episode 66, when we talked about food and cooking items that we don't own, but would love to. We had a food news story about Taco Bell and the Big Cheez-It, Tostada and Crunchwrap Supreme. And we're like, we're going to try these. We're going to review these. We have a video out now with kind of our reaction to it. And thing is, one of us gave it an 8 and one of us gave it a 3.
Yeah.
So definitely a little bit of mixed reviews between the two of us, but it's posted on all of our socials. If you're watching on YouTube, it's down in the description, link right to it. So yes, go ahead and check out our reactions to the Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and see who gave it an 8 and who gave it a 3. Let's get into honey, Jeff.
Absolutely. I am all about it. Let's get sticky.
So according to the National Honey Board, the color, flavor, and even aroma of honey differs depending on the nectar of flowers visited by the bees that made it. There are more than 300 unique types of honey available in the United States alone. Of course, each originating from the different floral source. As a general rule, the flavor of light-colored honey is milder and the flavor of darker-colored honey is stronger.
Yeah.
What do you prefer when it comes to your honey?
You know what? I have both, truthfully.
Okay.
Over the years here, I've been becoming more of a honey snob. I only buy local honey too.
Okay. That's It's good.
which I guess has its health benefits and everything as well, for allergies, and that's what I hear at least. But I'm a big farmer's market guy, and it's farmer's market season.
Oh, it is. It is.
And a lot of vegetables aren't necessarily ready yet.
Nope, not yet.
But there's honey. There's honey. I have honey left over from last year too, and the darker honey, I use it more frequently. But I do understand that sometimes the lighter honey with that not as a robust flavor works out in a lot of situations too.
You're not getting the little $2 honey on the bottom shelf there, right?
No, I will not buy honey if it comes in a bottle that's shaped like a bear.
The bottle that's shaped like a bear. There you go. Yeah, you want to look for honey that says raw if you're looking for good honey. That is.
Okay.
If you enjoy the the bear bottle honey, good for you. But there is better honey out there. It does have a ton of flavor, just like anything else.
Yeah.
You buy a good bourbon, you buy a cheap bourbon. There's all kinds of in betweens. Yeah, you want to look for honey that has raw on the label because or comes from a farm that you can verify that it hasn't been pasteurized, because there is a lot of nutritional benefits, and we can get into that too if you want, Jeff.
Absolutely, let's do it.
But like the heat will kill off a lot of the beneficial stuff too. So you don't want pasteurized honey. It could say natural, it could say organic, it could say pure, but none of those really indicate anything. Natural,
just all marketing schemes,
and pure are just marketing words, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, any mainstream organic grocery stores, health food stores, farmers markets are probably the place to go if you're looking for to up your honey game, if you will. Yeah, tons of like micronutrients are found in honey. Now, obviously, it's still sugar. It's a natural sweetener, of course, but
yes,
it's still a lot of sugar. But I don't know. Apparently, the body digests it slower than like straight up sugar. Couldn't tell you how that works scientifically or why. I guess that's better, right? No like spikes. But there are things like calcium, magnesium, niacin, phosphorus, potassium, riboflavin, zinc. Those are all found in honey. It apparently has antioxidant and inflammatory effects. Again, Jeff and I are not doctors or pharmacists or herbal medicine specialists in any way.
Not by any means.
This is something that I've used honey for. When I have a really bad cough, I will do a spoonful of the good stuff, and it's instead of taking like cough syrup or something. Yeah, and it coats the throat. It kind of miles it down. I usually do it right before I go to bed if I have like a bad cough when I'm sick. It has good probiotics that feed the good bacteria in your gut, so it's got digestive benefits. There's also a study out there, Jeff. I didn't realize this until today. The other stuff I was aware of, but apparently that honey can help heal wounds.
Oh, really?
Now, again, Jeff and I are not doctors. We don't recommend you grab the honey from the store shelf and rub it all over a wound in your arm. Just like treating any wound, you want things to be very sterile so you don't get infected. So don't be doing anything. Consult your doctor, of course.
Yeah, and using the local honey, and my wife is really big on this whole thing. So if you use a local honey, they're using local flowers and everything like that. So any allergens or what have you that you would have that's close to you, that's the benefit of using local honey. So I said before, that's why I use the local honey, just for that particular reason.
Yeah.
Try to make it as as local as possible, which I have the benefit of having some local honey producers, which is a really good thing for me.
Do you ever get the actual honeycomb?
I've had the honeycomb before.
I've never had the honeycomb. So
when you talk to a beekeeper or someone who makes honey, they're very knowledgeable. And they'll give you all the different benefits and things like that, and tell you all the different things about it. I'm going back to the farmer's market thing again, but usually that's where you can find these people. They're passionate because you kind of have to be, I believe, in order to make honey and be around bees and things like that, all types of things.
Yeah, I would imagine. And it was a good point with asking the people at the farmer's market, because most likely that same person at the farmer's market isn't just somebody they hired to sell at the farmer's market. They might have picked that produce, or they might be the beekeeper, they're going to have a lot more knowledge.
100%. I have a mushroom guy, I have a garlic guy, and they will talk to you. If you want to listen, they will talk to you about these things in great detail.
That's
and
awesome.
It's truly, and it gives you more of an appreciation for what you're kind of eating too, and for what they're doing. And you're supporting a local small business, which is always really high on my list of things to do.
What do you use honey for the most culinary wise?
So recently what I've been using honey for, it seems like pretty much on the reg. On the reg. I've used that a couple times, that term.
On the reg you have, yeah.
On the reg I have, yeah. So I like mushrooms a lot, and I use it for a sauce for mushrooms. Usually just like, Bella's or what have you. So these are the 3 ingredients that I use in order to make this pretty top notch.
Okay.
So honey is one of them. The other one that I use is a light miso paste, and then Worcestershire sauce.
So very earthy, very fishy, salty, and then very sweet from the honey.
Yes, and then if you
earthy
throw in,
from the mushrooms. Yeah.
And then if you throw in a little bit of garlic too, maybe some red pepper flakes or something like that, man, just that. Like I'll make, I can use those mushrooms to top a burger. I can use those mushrooms as mushroom tacos, which I know, Chris, maybe you wouldn't be about, but
tacos.
But it does something really. It works pretty well with a lot of mushrooms, especially like portobellas, baby bellas.
Yeah,
those type of mushrooms.
Okay,
so that's what I use honey for the most.
On the reg.
Now, my introduction to honey, though, was as a kid getting honey with fried chicken.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I didn't even think of honey and fried chicken, but yeah.
Honey and fried chicken.
That's classic.
There is nothing like it. I don't eat much fried chicken. Oh, but if you put some honey on it.
Man. Yeah, I probably haven't done honey on fried chicken since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some chicken nuggets, just dunking in a little honey. You mentioned that fancy mushroom sauce, and that now my 2 most used honey culinary recipes sound pretty simple. Jeff got all gourmet on me there. I probably use it the most for 2 things, and I don't make them too often. I almost use honey as just a little condiment or like a side kind of note thing. Like maybe drizzle it on a piece of toast with butter on it, or something. My mother has a lot of dietary restrictions lately, and honey has kind of been the main sweetening source for her. So it's getting used for things like that, as like a sugar substitute in baked goods and whatnot. But the 2 things that I make the most, that I use honey for, the things like when I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna make this or make this, I need to check the pantry to make sure I'm good on honey, right? Buffalo sauce for when I'm making wings.
Okay.
Honey goes in my buffalo sauce. I'm all about the Frank's brand. Not a sponsor, but Frank's, butter, and honey in a saucepan. That's my kind of my go-to buffalo sauce, especially when I'm doing chicken wings on the grill.
Yeah.
Just painting it with that stuff. The Frank's for the heat and the flavor, the classic buffalo sauce flavor, the butter, of course, because, chicken wings, hot sauce and butter is just how it's made. And the honey, it adds a little caramelization too, since you got the flame right there. It adds a little bit of sweetness to kind of bring it down a little bit. It's those 3 simple ingredients are just, awesome. And then I can't say the word honey without saying the word mustard right after it. Love a good honey mustard. A great honey mustard is probably better than the best ranch.
I totally agree with
Does
you.
that
on
make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, I love honey mustard. I don't necessarily buy honey mustard, but we make a lot of honey mustard.
Yes. I do buy because I want to find that perfect one that I can buy.
Yeah.
Usually a little disappointed. There are some restaurants, some chains, some fast food that have decent ones.
Yes.
But yeah, making it home. I do a little Dijon, a little whole grain mustard, mix those together, a little dab of mayonnaise to make it a little more creamier, and then add honey, stir, taste until it tastes like honey mustard, basically.
I like that.
How I measure the honey, you know?
Yeah. Oh, honey mustard is beyond reproach. It's so good.
Yeah, well, mustard is both one of our favorite things. I think we even have a mustard episode, if I'm not mistaken. But
absolutely, we do. Yes, something that I was introduced to not too long ago is using hot honey on pizza.
Yes, that is very trendy last few years for sure.
So that is really good. I think that's something, I don't know the origins of it. I believe it's not an American thing, but it is at least a North American thing. But it's incredible. It's good stuff. I would have thought of that on my own, but it is. Ooh.
I've had a few of the hot honeys, maybe like a couple. I shouldn't say a few, not very many. It's okay, but it's like I don't know if I like sweetness on a pizza. I don't think you're weird because you like hot honey on a pizza. It's just not for me.
I understand where you're coming from with that. Yeah, but it's something that I tried and I really enjoyed it, and it's good.
A lot of people do, yeah.
Yeah, so I do have some from my honey people that I see, and I buy honey from different honey vendors or whatever at the farmer's market. But I do have a hot honey. Actually, I probably have
like a local hot honey.
Yes, so I might actually have more than one. Now that I think about it, because they tell me this too, Chris, that honey has no expiration date.
Yes, that is true. Although if you open up your honey and it smells weird and it looks weird, you probably want to throw it away and go back to the farmer's market. But
exactly.
Yeah, even if it gets a little crystally and stuff, like just a gentle heat to kind of warm it back up, and it should be fine. Should taste fine.
Or I just mix mine together. I mix it for a little bit, and it seems to be okay. But honey is delicious. And like you said, for dietary restrictions, I'm somebody who definitely needs to watch their sugar intake. I'm not really one on sweets and what have you. So honey works out for me in that way tremendously. It's great.
Been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, you know.
It's just how nature intended it.
Yeah, don't buy the honey that has a long ingredients list.
No,
on the back of it. That's probably not honey.
Yeah,
it's like maple syrup that says more than maple syrup on the back of the label. You know.
Oh, right. And that's that's a thing with me too. I like pure maple syrup. I like I like the good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather spend the extra money on the maple syrup, and I'd rather spend the extra money on the honey. And you just tell the difference. It's really night and day. It's incredible. Honey is so good. Now, like when we're talking about this, I'm so hyped up about honey now. Man,
you're gonna go have a little cheese and honey for a snack tonight?
No, and I think honey, the way to have it with chicken, when you're talking about chicken wings, you know, fried chicken and things like that. You know, honey butter chicken is a thing that's out there that's really big. Honey is perfect, I think, with chicken. Might be the best thing that you can put on chicken, Chris.
You might be right.
Think about what else. Yeah, what else would it be if you add honey with that?
Yeah, honey would probably be in my top 5. So would honey mustard, ironically. So honey would be in there twice when it comes to chicken.
Yeah.
So.
And do you like barbecue sauce? Do you like a honey barbecue sauce?
I do like a honey barbecue sauce. I probably have 20 different barbecue sauces in my fridge right now.
Wow.
I'm just going crazy tasting barbecue sauces. I plan on doing a lot of my own barbecue sauces this summer, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
But honey is something I will need to be purchasing to make a lot of those barbecue sauces because, yeah, that's where a lot of the good flavor and sweetness is definitely going to come from. And we, like we heard in food news earlier, we got honey forward hot sauces. So
Yeah.
you know, those could taste really good. I'm really excited to try those.
That's exciting too.
Thanks for listening to episode 67 of Fresh and Uncooked. Jeff, where can everybody follow you?
I'm pretty much on every platform, Jeff_on air.
You can find me TikTok and YouTube, mostly Cooking with Chris_YT. I actually just posted a video on YouTube. I made some Twix bars at home.
Oh,
Check that on my YouTube page. Links to all the Fresh and Uncooked socials are in the show notes and description below. Jeff, until next time.
enjoy what you eat.